All right, let's get right into it. Have you ever felt like you're saving, you're investing, but you're just not getting anywhere, like you're stuck on a financial treadmill? Well, what if I told you there's a very real tipping point in your journey to building wealth, a point where everything changes, where your progress goes from this slow, painful crawl to an absolute explosion? And in this explainer, we are going to nail down exactly when that happens.
I mean, come on. Anyone who's ever tried to build their savings knows this feeling deep in their soul. This quote, you see it all over investing forums online, and it just perfectly captures that initial struggle, doesn't it? It's the grind. It's the part where everything feels slow, it feels hard, and honestly, sometimes it feels kind of hopeless. It's a universal truth for so many of us.
Okay, so if that start is so incredibly hard, why do you hear so many people say that eventually it just gets easier? What's going on there? Is there some kind of secret passcode or a magic number that unlocks the next level of building wealth? Well, that is the exact question we are going to tackle right now.
And just look at this, from a Reddit user named Lanky Seat. Think about this for a second. It took them longer to get their first $100,000 than it took them to get the next $900,000. That's not just a feeling, you know. For a lot of people, it's a cold, hard, mathematical fact. Something fundamental changes once you hit that first major milestone.
You know, in the very beginning, the whole journey is basically all on you. It's your discipline, it's your sacrifices, it's your ability to just carve out money from your paycheck week after week. It is a grind, and the heavy lifting rests almost completely on your shoulders.
So let's break down the math here, because it's fascinating. Let's say you're doing great. You're putting away $5,000 a year. Awesome. Well, when your portfolio is only at, say, $25,000, a really good 10% return only gets you $2,500. See that? Your savings are still doing double the work of your investments. But watch what happens when you cross that $100K mark. All of a sudden, that same 10% return is generating $10,000 a year. Your money is now earning twice as much as you're saving. That right there is the exact moment the whole game flips.
So, what is this incredible force that takes over the heavy lifting for you? Well, this magic weapon, as some call it, has famously been called the eighth wonder of the world, and it's all about the magic of compounding.
So, to put it really simply, compounding is your money making money, and then that money starts making its own money. It's this incredible process where the returns your investments generate start earning their own returns. And it creates the snowball effect, a self-fueling cycle of growth that just gets more and more powerful over time. Let's make this super simple. Imagine you have $100. You get a 10% return, now you've got 110. Easy enough. But the next year, you're not earning 10% on your original 100, you're earning it on the whole 110. So now you get $11 in gains, bringing you to 121. See that? That tiny extra dollar is what creates the massive acceleration later on. At this rate, your money actually doubles in just over 7 years, without you lifting another finger.
And this quote just captures that feeling perfectly. It's that aha moment. It's when you log into your accounts and you realize that the growth from your investments last month was actually more than you were able to save from your paycheck. Your money is now officially working for you 24/7, even when you're sleeping. It's an incredible feeling.
Okay, so we get the why, right? We understand the awesome power of compounding. But that doesn't make that initial grind any easier. So let's pivot to the how. How can you actually get to that first 100K, that critical tipping point, as fast as humanly possible?
You know, the absolute key here is to take willpower completely out of the equation. So, step 1, set up automatic transfers from your paycheck or your bank account straight into your investment account. Don't even let the money hit your checking. Step 2, make sure that money is automatically buying something diversified, like a broad index fund. And step 3, and this is a total pro move, the second you pay off something like a car loan or get a raise, you immediately redirect that freed up cash flow to your investments before you even get used to having it.
Now, as crucial as saving is, let's be real. You can only cut your expenses so much. To truly put this journey into hyperdrive, you need a two-pronged attack. You've got to save like crazy, yes, but you also have to focus on the other side of that equation. You have to earn more money.
This insight from Reddit user Team Hog is just pure gold. They're talking about how they and their spouse got 22 promotions and raises in just 5 years. 22? How'd they do it? Well, they didn't just show up and do their job. They actively managed their own career. They learned how to spot problems, propose solutions, and then sell themselves as the perfect person to lead those new projects. It's a huge reminder that your career is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools you have.
So, let's say you're doing everything right. You're saving, you're earning more, you're building that momentum. Fantastic. But as that nest egg gets bigger,
a whole new challenge pops up. You have to protect what you've built. Because the bigger your portfolio gets, the bigger the potential risks become.
So what is the single biggest threat that can completely derail all of this hard work, especially as you get closer to your goal? Well, it's probably not what you think.
It's something called sequence of returns risk. Yeah, it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. When your good and bad years happen matters a ton. A market crash is a lot more painful when your portfolio is big. I mean, a 30% drop on a $10,000 portfolio, that's a bummer, it's a setback. But a 30% drop on a $500,000 portfolio right before you plan to retire, that can be absolutely catastrophic. The timing of the bad returns can be even more important than the returns themselves. So how in the world do we deal with a risk like that? Well, the legendary investor Charlie Munger kind of gives us the answer. He always believed it's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about systematically avoiding stupidity. More often than not, success just comes from not making huge, unforced errors. Munger's whole philosophy is just a masterclass in managing risk. First off, emotional discipline is everything. Don't panic and sell when the market tanks. Second, know what you own. Do your homework. Third, and this is a big one, be humble. Understand what you don't know and where your blind spots are. And finally, just be patient. Wealth is not built overnight. It's all about making rational, long-term decisions over and over again. So, after all that grinding, all the saving, the earning, and the disciplined patience, you finally get there. You arrive at the tipping point. This is the moment we've been building towards, the phase where your wealth just goes into absolute hyperdrive.
In this slide, this just brings it all home. This is the real-world journey of another Reddit user, Spartacus. Just look at this. It took them 5 years of grinding to get to their first 100,000. But then, it only took the next 7 years to go from 100K all the way to $1 million. That is the incredible power of the tipping point in one single amazing picture.
So the tipping point, it's not really a specific dollar amount, even though 100K is a really common milestone. The true tipping point is a moment in time. It is the moment your portfolio's growth, on its own, becomes consistently bigger than the new money you're able to add from your paycheck. That's it. That's when the machine truly takes over.
So there you have it. We've laid out the map to get there, that relentless saving and earning. And we've identified the weapon that creates the explosion, the incredible magic of compounding. The path is actually pretty clear. And the outcome? Well, it's powerful. The only question left is when are you going to start?